being sober in your 20s. Hello. This is a kind of, I don't want to say random video, but like maybe one that no one would kind of expect from a girl like me. AKA a girl who's in her 20s, who loves socialising, likes a fancy restaurant, likes a fancy bar. I'm 20, how old am I? 24. I was going to say I'm 23. I'm 24 and I have been 99.9% sober since I was 21. That's 3 years. And it literally happened overnight without me kind of even doing it on purpose. And I've experienced some side effects / benefits / really quite life-changing personality inner growthness that you kind of wouldn't expect, that aren't actually related to drinking at all, to be honest, on the surface, but have completely come as a consequence of not drinking. So let's wind it back. Let's take it right back to Boxing Day 2021. It was lockdown. I was stuffed from Christmas Day the day before. Ate my body weight in food, as you always will do. And I had a night out planned. Now, it was a period where you could go out and you had to get food, I think, or I don't know. It's that weird time where like the bars were kind of open, but they kind of weren't. They hadn't been open for ages, so I was so excited. Moral of the story, as a stupid 21-year-old, I didn't eat the entire day. Was I disordered at that point? Yes. Different story entirely, so let's just move on. I drank a bottle of wine when I went out, and I was what you can call paralytic. I had a party against my parents' wishes. It was lockdown. This was like not allowed at all. Like you were not allowed to mingle in houses. Weird because like bars are open, but like you weren't allowed to do that at that point. And the next day I woke up and I had felt like I was rotting from the inside out, literally. Couldn't speak, I couldn't move, I couldn't lift my head off my pillow. And that was the worst I've ever felt in my life. And it scarred me. When I say I got PTSD from that day, I am not exaggerating, because that was the day that I decided, nah, not doing it again. Not doing it again. And I haven't done it since. Okay, I have. Like, I've had maybe three occasions where I've had a couple of drinks since that time. But it's safe to say that was more or less the last time. Now, I think it rooted from me genuinely being like, I cannot ever feel like this again. But you forget the feeling, obviously. So it's not just that feeling. I think my body kind of switched and was like, we are rejecting alcohol. Like, no, we're not doing this. But I think as the period of time went on, kind of over like January, February, March, where like you don't really do much anyway, I was like, oh, I actually love this feeling. Like, I love the feeling of being in control. I love the feeling of not saying things or doing things that like I don't necessarily want to say in my sober, fully conscious mind. And I think what I want to explain, number one, genuinely being in your most authentic state at all times is so empowering. Like, not kind of losing yourself, because you know when you drink you are removed from yourself. You kind of like have your like framework taken away from you, and you're just this like lucid, like crazy like spirit that will just like melt everywhere and that was a really weird metaphor, but you know what I mean. You don't act in accordance to yourself. And I think like building trust with myself and always kind of being in control effectively, again, it's also incredible. Like, it's the best feeling ever. And I truly do think my confidence now is a huge amount down to the fact that I don't drink. And I haven't drank in 3 years. And I know that's, to some that might be like, what? Like, how's that even related? But yeah, it's just about always just truly being in your own mind and not wavering from that, and you know, building that rapport of trust with yourself. Like, you can go out on a night out and have fun and then not wake up in the morning and be like, oh my god, I told everyone that. Okay, I don't know what you tell everyone, you know, whatever rubbish that you chat when you're drunk. Yeah, just building that trust with yourself is life changing, to be honest. I think like moving on from that again is like the ability to build confidence through not drinking and still putting yourself in whatever social situations you want to put yourself in. It's unmatched. I am like naturally like a very confident person, I would say. Not in the fact that I'm like really loud, I can be, but I'm not generally really loud. But I can walk into any setting with anybody and not like doubt myself or be unsure of who I am and what I have to offer, because I think you don't realise until you stop drinking how much you drink to kind of lose yourself and just let go of your inhibitions. And once you practice and practice and practice, being around people, being around different types of people that maybe are super loud and super confident because they're drunk, you realise that you can do and say and be around anyone and like be completely confident. And again, that is like one of the biggest things I have kind of learned and taken away from this whole 3 years of not drinking. And don't get me wrong, maybe I'll come into a period of my life when I do drink again, or I just drink more. I'm not stopping myself, I just don't want to right now. And it's like, interestingly, that confidence is completely bled into other aspects of my life that are not to do with like socialising in like a alcohol setting. It's bled into my work life, it's bled into my friendships with people. And okay, number 4, which is like another huge one, is like genuinely having people in your life that you want in your life and are good for you. Because party friends are fun, but party friends often aren't good for you. They often encourage you to do bad things. No, I'm sure you can have good party friends, but yeah, just genuinely putting your energy into the people that lead you to do good things in life and lead you to make good decisions and lead you to be in the best moods and have the best energy, and not waste your time on kind of like just the people that you want to get drunk with. And one more thing I do kind of want to talk about, which I don't know if this is gonna make sense, but because it's completely the norm to drink as a 20-year-old, or you know, 22-year-old, 23-year-old, 24-year-old, 25-year-olds, I've realised that you don't need to just do what other people do. And it comes down to that authenticity point that I was talking about before. You realise how much you just do what other people do because other people do it, and because the generation before that had done it, and because your parents have told you to do it, and because your friends told you to do it. But when you realise that like you no longer do this thing that everybody else in the whole country does every weekend, you're like, okay, well, where else in my life am I just doing things for the sake of it? Because I've never thought to question it before. Like, and that's where you can really step into your truth, shall we say. Yeah, I think people often talk about like the health benefits or the money saving side of it, which it's phenomenal, don't get me wrong. But I think there's other really important things that people kind of don't speak about enough. Or I've never heard people speak about this before, to be fair. They might have done, but I personally have not heard anyone openly speak about these things in terms of not drinking alcohol and being sober. But yeah, this is to not turn anyone away from drinking or to put a crown on my own head. This is just to open up your eyes, because I know it's dry January, which actually I really enjoy, because people are actually finally a little bit more on my wavelength for a month. Just some thoughts. Take what you want, leave what you don't want, and do what you want, to be honest. But yeah, bye.